thank you so much for joining us for a word of encouragement today. So glad that you clicked on. I wanted to tell you, last week we talked a little bit about taking the water off the boat, and meaning that if you start to feel your ship sinking a little bit, you've got to wonder what all those heavy things that you're putting on. And so one of those things that you have to get off. And so today I want to continue that conversation on ways that you can reduce the impact of stress in your life. Now, this is a big conversation. It's not going just to be a one-time click on the word of encouragement. I'm hoping that over the next couple weeks that you'll come back and you'll click on this to get the fullness. Does that make sense? Yes, the fullness of this entire conversation on how to reduce the impact of stress in your life. And so the first thing I would like to talk to you about today is when you're experiencing stress, and who doesn't experience stress? It's just part of humanness. And the first thing you want to do is understand your current experience. So the important part of understanding your current experience is identifying. So really important for you when you're going through a stressful situation or a stressful season of your life is to say, what is it that is the core? What's the core? What do I need to identify here because if we don't identify what that's causing a stress, then we're just going to continue to sit in that stress. And that stress, like we've talked about here so many times, is that it will begin to manifest itself in different ways in our life. And most likely, we're finding it manifesting itself in ways of health issues. And so you don't want that. And so one way we can step back from that is by first understanding where it is coming from. And it's identifying that. And so once you've done that, write it down and maybe let a loved one know, like, hey, I'm really stressed out because of this, and putting that down. And so what I wanted to say is that be gentle with yourself. I think sometimes is that when we begin to identify stressors, that we don't give ourselves that grace and that mercy that God's giving us, because we think that let me just say this, that we must to attain as Christians to this certain level. And I shouldn't have stress in my life because Jesus takes it all away. Come on, let's live in reality, okay? Jesus does take it away and he does want to be there with you. But we live in a broken world. We live in a world that is not our own. And so we have to recognize that we are going to come upon seasons of stress. And so that's what this talk is for. That is why the number one thing is identifying it and being okay with it and giving ourselves that grace and giving our loved ones that grace. And then we're going to move on to the next 2 weeks, and we're going to talk about how do we inform ways to manage that. So we're going to talk about how we manage those. And then thirdly, we're going to talk about how we cultivate dependence. And you can bet where I'm going with that is cultivating dependence on Jesus. Okay, see you soon. Bye.